Hey guys, so I've not really spoken, like sat down and spoken to a camera for a little while, because I've been quite poorly, recovering from chemo and having more chemo, but I wanted to kind of post an update that I've finished my chemo treatment and my treatment overall. I do not have a clue how I managed to deal with this, really. There's a few questions that people have had, such as like, why are you not having a stem cell transplant? What chemo did you have, etc, etc. What side effects have you had from your chemo? I feel like maybe this isn't the video to answer all of those questions, but I'm gonna hit a few of them, the general ones on the head. So people were wondering why I went into remission so quickly. Well, the way that my cancer works is it's called acute myeloid leukemia. So that means it's acute, aka really aggressive. So it can come on very suddenly, and it can also react really, really well to chemotherapy. So the chemotherapy I had when I was in my coma was idarubicin to put me into remission. And then the consolidation chemo I had was DAR, which is first course of chemo. First round of chemo is 10 days of 12-hourly cytarabine, a really low dose, like 1.5 ml, and danirubicin on days 1, 3, and 5. And then the second round was 12-hourly cytarabine for 8 days, and then on days 1, 3, and 5, danirubicin again. And then the third round was high-dose cytarabine, which was 5.6 grams of cytarabine twice a day on days 1, 3, and 5. And then the last chemo, which I've just had, was the same, so the high-dose cytarabine. So although I've only had 4 rounds of chemo, the chemo I've had is really, really heavy stuff. Like, the stuff I've had is very, very poisonous and comes with a lot of long-term effects. So although obviously I'm so happy to be cancer-free, we hope, you know, I've got a lot of problems that are going to be left over, and we just don't know when or if I will ever get over them. But that's just something that I have to deal with, and I'm glad that I'm dealing with that rather than dying at 24 completely. So overall I'm grateful. I'm so grateful to the NHS. The NHS has been amazing. A few people have asked how I funded my treatment. So in the UK you don't have to fund your treatment. We have the NHS, it's paid for, so when you work you pay taxes, and we pay out of our taxes basically. But I think there is a really big deficit, and the NHS does end up quite underfunded, and there is absolutely no way that I will ever pay enough tax to repay what my NHS bill is. But you know, I guess that's where the welfare system comes in, I guess. But obviously there's things around treatment that you have to continue to pay for, like living and rent and bills and stuff like that. So to pay for that kind of thing, I've been obviously continuing doing a bit of OnlyFans and my job. But in general, I've quit my mainstream job because I don't have the ability to do it anymore, really, because I've got long-term problems with my joints. You can tell how completely exhausted I am after this chemo. Another question that I've had was about bone marrow transplants. So obviously most people with my cancer end up having a bone marrow transplant, but the reason that I'm not having one is because although I presented really, really ill because I was quite far along in my cancer, it wasn't picked up early enough, even though I'd been seeing doctors and stuff. The prognosis for my genetic mutations and how well I responded to chemotherapy point towards me being quite low risk for relapse. So if I were to relapse, they would give me FLAG-IDA chemotherapy, which I can't quite remember what the process is, to put me into a remission, and then they would give me a stem cell transplant. So that gives me a really good backup option rather than having a transplant now and potentially needing a second transplant in the future, or not being able to have a second transplant, or dying from the transplant. It just gives me future options if I need them and saves unnecessary hassle and pain, because it's not the most pleasant experience. The transplants that we have to have as leukemia sufferers are a little bit more aggressive than an allogenic stem cell transplant, I think it's called, which is where you have your own stem cells. We can't have that. We have to have someone else's, so it's a lot more aggressive and painful and much more of a long-term problem. So as well, another perk of me not having a stem cell transplant means that I don't have to go and get vaccinated again against anything. Obviously I gotta go get my COVID vaccine and my flu vaccine and stuff like that, but that's it. So besides that, it's quite smooth sailing. But yeah, I don't really know how I'm gonna get back to going to normal life again. I feel completely overwhelmed, but I guess I'll work it out. I mean, I hope I have the time to work it out. So I think my plan for the next sort of 2 years is to enjoy the time that I've got. After it's been 2 years, it becomes a lot less likely that I'll relapse, so the chances of that go down even more, so I can maybe start to build a bit more of a future. But in the shorter term, under 2 years post-treatment, I'm planning on just enjoying my time, because obviously 75% of people with the cancer that I've had will die within 5 years. So I feel like I need to be realistic of that fact and enjoy my time that I have. And then once I get to sort of 5 years, it's considered pretty much that I won't get it again. Such a minuscule chance. So we just gotta get to 5 years and I'll be completely free of this burden, really. As you can see as well, we're gonna address the elephant in the room. I've got a lot of hair. It's growing back quite well now, so I'm hoping I don't lose it from the chemo I've just had, But my last round of chemo, round 3, which was the same chemo that I've just had, I didn't lose my hair, it just thinned out a tiny bit. So we're just gonna see if we can hold on to what we've got, because it's kind of working for me. I don't know, what do you guys think? I dyed it pink so it looks a little bit fuller, but in some bright lights you can kind of see that it's quite wispy and baby hairish. Something in my hair that was never a problem when I was bald. But yeah, I kind of like it. I'm gaining some confidence with not wearing wigs, so that's nice. I just don't know what to say. I felt like I needed to post an update. I'm gonna be making a few different videos while I'm stuck in hospital. People want to know all sorts of weird things, like about tattoos that I want to have now, my bucket list, what I plan to do when I get out. There's lots of exciting things coming up in the next few months of my life, which I promised myself I could have if I got through treatment. So I'm hoping to take you along for the ride still. Yeah, I don't have cancer anymore, but it doesn't mean I'm done fighting for my fucking life. It still feels like fighting, even though I've done the chemo and got rid of the cancer. It's still just like blood tests every day, and my liver's not quite working right now. They think it's the chemo, but so many different things just going on that I'm just having to fight to survive right now still. But I will be okay, I think. And I've kind of kicked this thing's ass, and I'm so grateful for everyone who's helped me kick its ass, because fuck, that was that's been a tough road. Obviously you can see my podginess is going down from the steroids, which is really nice. Dropping weight like no tomorrow, because I have no appetite now from chemo, which sucks. So I'm on these friggin' nutrition drinks, which taste like crap. But we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep on going. Alright, I'm gonna catch you guys soon. I hope you enjoyed the little update. Sorry if it's a little bit incoherent. Chemo brain is such a problem for me these days. I guess I will see you very soon. Make sure you click all the links below and follow me on TikTok and Instagram to see more of me when I'm not posting on YouTube. Because I'm always on TikTok. Bye guys.